What's going on, everyone? I'm out for a relaxing ride on the Cyrusher Kommoda bike. I just did some comfort mods to this bike, my signature comfort mods that I try to do on almost all the bikes to give it a seating position that I really like. And I thought I'd take it out for just a quick spin and enjoy it. I like this bike a lot. So I'll pull over here and show you, I guess, what I did. And maybe you can consider it on your bike as well. So the things I changed out on the Kommoda were, I changed the seat. Even though it came with a pretty good seat, I put on this really huge, wide, plush bikeroo seat on there. So I changed that one thing. I changed the pedals. They had on these like plastic folding pedals. I don't know why they use those. They were pretty crummy. But just, I had an old set of these metal Well-Go pedals. I popped those on. And then I changed out the handlebar stem right here. I put this riser on here, which adds a good like 3 inches of height. Brings the handlebars up and gives you that more upright seating position, which I'm a big fan of. So I've been using this a lot. These things are like $12 on Amazon, and it takes 2 minutes to install it, and it changes the ride position a lot. So check into that. I'll link it. I'll link all this stuff for you so you can get it if you want. But that was a big thing. I changed this. They had an adjustable handlebar, stem thing there that jutted out, and it was loosening up on me. I couldn't get it to stay tight, so I just changed it to a solid one. I might actually buy another one too and shorten that, bring the handlebars back even more. I've got the bars kind of tilted back to me as is. Just gives that really upright, tall position. And then of course the mirrors. I added these bar end mirrors. I love having bar end mirrors on the bikes. It's so convenient for seeing the traffic and just everything around you. Again, I'll link it all so you can find it. But those are the main comfort mods that I like to do. Mirrors, upright riding position, and the seat. And then the pedals, my feet were kind of slipping off those plastic pedals, so I changed it to the grippier metal ones. And that's all I've done to it so far. I still need to get a bag for the rear rack. I don't know if a regular bag would fit on there. This rack is really wide. It's wider than most. So I'm not sure if a regular bag, the Velcro straps would fit. They probably would. But we need to get a bag on the back. This one, she's a keeper. I like this Cyrusher bike a lot. The Kommoda bike, it's not going anywhere for the time being because it's very comfortable. I mean, the suspension is pretty soft. It's really squishy. Just me sitting on the bike at 180 compresses it an inch or two. So if you're heavier than that, it might be too soft for you, but the suspension, it's got hydraulic brakes. It's got a low step through. It's so easy to get off and on. You just step right through the thing. Now that I've got the seat and the mirrors and the handlebar positioning correct, this thing is just a joy to ride. So I'm digging the Kommoda bike. They did a good job on this one when they designed this bike. This is something, I like the bikes that a lot of people can get on, right? Even my mom, who's in her 60s and has one not good hip, that gives her some trouble, was able to get on and sit on this bike. That says something. It's pretty accessible. I think someone probably, she's only 5'3". I think someone 5 feet tall could probably ride this bike. The seat goes low enough. It goes lower than most. I think it goes down to like 30, 31 inches, somewhere in there. So it's a very accessible bike, but I think the Kommoda bike is definitely a keeper. I'm not gonna be giving this one up anytime soon. It's just got a lot of great features that I look for, the accessibility and the comfort, the power. It's got really good power. And I apologize if the wind's blowing out my audio because it's crazy windy today, but it's got great power. You can run it up over 25 miles an hour easily with just the throttle alone. It's got some good pull-off line. This is one of the few bikes that made that really, really steep hill climb that I've been trying lately. It's a 750 watt bike, but on the screen it does have a watt meter, and I regularly see this thing peaking like 980. So it gives you some good power out of this thing. The only thing, all right, so I've told you now, I changed all the comfort things I like on it. It's not gonna go anywhere. Let me tell you the things if you're thinking about buying this bike, some things you might wanna know or be aware of, okay? So the first thing is pedal assist. Your pedal assist number that you change right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's linked to your throttle. So when you're in pedal assist 1, you only get level 1 throttle. So to get the full throttle, you got to be in pedal assist 5. I don't like that setup, honestly. I'd rather have full throttle at all times, full power in that throttle, but It's not a huge deal. I've got many bikes that are set up that way. You get used to it, it's fine. Just if I had my choice, I would want full throttle, full power in this at all times. The pedals kind of suck, those plastic folding pedals that were on it. I didn't like those, so you're probably gonna have to change those if you get this bike. What else about it? The pedal strikes is something to point out. Numerous other people have said this as well, and I have noticed it too. The pedals come pretty low to the ground. If you're making a turn with your pedal down in that position, it does hit the ground sometimes. You got to be cautious of that. If you're making a steep turn, make sure that pedal is up, because you could hit the ground. I've had numerous pedal strikes on this bike. It is certainly not anything that would make me get rid of this bike. You just have to remember in your brain, okay, don't put your pedal down into a turn because it could hit the ground. It's not crazy low to the ground where it's like a common occurrence, but I've hit it a few times. What else to note? The shock. So the shock's pretty soft, as I said. I'm 180 and I spring this thing really easily. If you were 250, you're probably going to be bottoming out this shock. They are super duper easy to change. You just pop these two bolts out and pop in a new shock that's stiffer or adjustable. I bought one and put it on another bike. They were like 50 bucks. It took me like 10 minutes to change it. So that's not a huge deal. The brakes have been good. They're Zoom hydraulic brakes. Zoom has been hit and miss for me. Sometimes they work fantastic. Other times they seem to get air in the line. These have been doing great. The battery size, I mean, it's 14 amp hour, I believe, which is okay. It's not crazy big. I did a range test on the bike. You can check that video out, but I rode it full blast, full throttle for like miles and miles and miles. I rode it for over an hour at basically max speed, max pedal assist, but I didn't pedal, just max throttle the whole time, and it went 20 miles. So I thought that was pretty good to be riding at full blast, full power, top speed, and it still went 20 miles. I mean, you're not really going to ride like that probably. You're going to be pedaling and you're going to be at lower speed. So I think it's going to have a decent range. I mean, if you're like me, I only ride, I don't know, 10 miles at a time normally. If it's a long ride, I'll do like 20. And these mirrors are good. I have probably purchased God knows how many bar-in mirrors, just trying to find ones that fit, ones that look good, ones that you can see clearly. I gotta say, these are some of the better ones I've had. They're very clear and they're very easy to install, and they're not gigantic on the bike. So I may be buying these ones again. They've got a little bit of a curvature to them, just a slight amount. I normally don't like those mirrors that have the bubble curve in them, but I do like these. They don't have that crazy bend in them. They're pretty darn clear. But I think the Kommoda bike is definitely gonna be a keeper for me for a while. It's kind of become I wanna go take a mental break from my 40-hour-a-week job and go out on my lunch hour and ride for 5 or 10 miles or so and just relax. It's kind of become that bike for me. Been riding around a decent amount. People ask me all the time, like, what are your favorites? Which ones do you like? What should I buy? What do I recommend? I mean, I wouldn't steer anybody away from this one. I like this one. Like I said, I think a lot of people can ride this and it's got good power. I mean, Cyrusher doesn't pay me to say that, just so you know. I don't take commissions or anything from e-bike companies, any company. So buy one, don't buy one, makes no difference to me. I got no skin in the game. I'm just here to give you some information about bikes and show you them in action a little bit. And if you got questions about it, definitely drop them in the comments. I'll try to answer if I can. Do my best to get to as many as I can, but it'll be hanging around for a while. Maybe do some comparisons with this one if I get any more 20-inch wheel bikes in. And if you like just general e-bike info like this, do me a favor, consider hitting that subscribe button, checking out some other videos I got on file. Got a huge library of videos for you to watch about all kinds of different bikes, and appreciate everyone for watching. What do you think? Should we try this huge hill? Let's try this hill. I can't really get a run at it, so here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah, we're gonna do it. We had to go on an angle, but we did it. Whew, this thing's got some power. It's got some power. That was a steep hill. Could feel the front wheel coming up in the air a little bit. That was pedal assist 5 and first gear. Let's take this power down to 1 as we go down the hill. All right, ooh, it's very steep. Holy crap. Whoa. Oh, another thing I should mention about this bike. On the other Cyrusher bikes, they had the brakes reversed. This one, they've got them, I think, the correct way, where your back brake is on your right hand. All right, that's all. Have a good one.